Everybody's smiling. Here we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Skip Clark. Welcome to another edition of what we call Skip Happens. Yeah, she's getting into it already. It's going to be another great show. You know, I am so fortunate to work in a business where I get to meet a lot of pretty awesome people. And tonight, you're going to meet one with me because we haven't spoken before. This is like the first time she's seen me, so I'm surprised she hasn't turned the camera off. But I can see her, and you know what? We're going to talk to Jessie G, who is with us. Just a little bit about her, though. You look at her. Would you think? I'm trying to think. What was on a fishing boat? That's part of her family background, right? Jessie G is obviously with us. And let me just read the first paragraph of the bio they sent me. Hang on, then we'll go from there. It says, Jessie G's heritage spans across 4 generations of commercial fishermen on the coast of Oregon. Or is it Oregon?
Oregon.
Okay. She spent much of her childhood aboard the hand-built family boat.
That's right.
Hand-built?
Yep, hand built.
I mean, like hammer and nails and all that.
Yep, a lot of hard work. And 5 years.
And you, the crab and the tuna and all that? Yeah.
Crab, tuna, salmon, halibut, lingcod, some other fisheries. But yeah.
Do you like fish? I mean, do you thoroughly, seriously enjoy a nice fish dinner or crab legs?
Yeah, I'm a big tuna girl. I'm a big cod girl. I do like crab, but not like a ton of crab, you know. I just occasionally like it.
I like the crab legs.
Yes. The body's like a sweeter meat.
Yes, there you go. All you can eat. Special, and you just sit there and you just keep eating and eating and eating.
Yeah. We don't do that at our family restaurant.
So that's right. You had the family restaurant too.
We do.
Do they still have that in Oregon or Oregon?
Yeah, it's, you know what? So the Oregon thing, by the way, I've learned that in Wisconsin, there's an Oregon. That's why people do it both ways.
No way.
Yeah. So Oregon, where I'm from is Oregon, but yes, we have did you ask if we have a seafood?
Yeah. Restaurant? But wait a minute. Whoa. So you just mentioned what you said in Wisconsin, they have
an Oregon.
It's Oregon. You say Oregon, like you leave out a whole. Okay, so you leave out a whole syllable, and I'm in the Northeast, and we say Oregon, I think. I don't know.
Oh, and it makes sense because the way it's spelled, but the way I like to think about it is like in your body, there's organs. So that the thing in your body is where I'm from on the West Coast.
Oh, okay. All right. I got it. Well, we're joined by Jessie G tonight. She is an independent artist, but she's on the grassroots promotion team, and one of their many great artists. And I love working with grassroots, and they give me the opportunity to talk to a lot of their artists. Where are you right now, Jess?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now. We have a beautiful home by the lake, and we're all over the country most of the time, actually the world now most of the time. So it's nice to take a little bit of a break, get a reset, have a little bit of a routine, especially because I have a 2-year-old. So
I was going to ask, I was reading that too. Yeah.
Yes. And so it's really nice to just be home for a couple weeks, and then we hit the road again. We're going to Texas, Florida, and then West Coast.
Do you take the little one with you at all, or no?
Most of the time. Most of the time she is with me. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to ask the question, how do you do it? Because, wait a minute. So is it a boy or girl? Little girl?
Girl.
All right.
Girl.
And she's 2.
She's 2. Yes.
And we all know about the terrible 2s.
It is happening.
That's why I'm asking.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
It's, it's one of those things that you can do it. And I don't ever want to discourage somebody from living their dreams and doing everything that their heart desires and having a family at the same time. I think sometimes that's really a bummer when people discourage, especially women, because women are the one carrying and giving birth and all that. And it's, it's frustrating when you're like, what? So I can't go out on the road and be a country singer and stuff. And so, but I will say it's harder. It is a lot harder. More preparation is involved. More blood, sweat, and tears is involved from more parties. So, my band knows my child very well. She calls my guitar player Uncle Christian.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And, it's just a big family. Like
Mhm.
we have our family on the road, and then we have our family back home, and we just try to create as many safe spaces as possible. And of course, we're stopping at little playgrounds, and our hotels normally have a pool, or when we luck out and get like a water slide park thing. In
Yeah.
Wisconsin, we got like 2 hotels. We were like, what is up with this area? Everybody's got like water parks in their hotels. It was awesome.
I
So
have never been to Wisconsin.
really?
Never been to Wisconsin,
Okay.
but maybe
My
some.
husband's from there, so
Oh, really? Now, your
yeah.
husband is military or was, correct?
Yeah, he just got out in June, last June, so it'll be a
Nice.
year of him being out in June.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's a big transition too, you
Yeah.
know, uh, like anybody who's been through that
Mhm.
and been in the
Oh,
military community, it's its own little world, you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. It's a whole yeah, you're right. It's a whole different world. But you bring it together. Did he serve overseas? Was he gone for any period of time or was he stateside?
Yeah, so he's been gone many times. When we first got together, actually, he deployed overseas to Iraq, and then he was there for quite a bit. And then he came home,
Mhm.
and we were lucky enough that he was just climbing up that ladder and going into special forces and all that. And if you know how it works in the military, that's a lot of schools, a lot of
Yeah.
training, a lot of that kind of thing. So, he spent a really long time getting to a point where he became a Captain Green Beret.
Wow.
And yeah, and so, we moved a couple different stations,
Mhm, mhm,
and
mhm.
we're grateful to spend our time in the uh, Gulf Coast, Florida area.
Sure, sure.
Destin, Florida is where we.
Oh, yeah. No, well, now I've been there. So,
Yes,
yeah,
beautiful.
it is.
We actually kept our condo down there because we were like, we're never getting rid of this ever. It's
I
just
don't blame you. Not
very
at all.
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were blessed, but he's been gone in hard times. Music sometimes had to take a back seat because the military came first for a while, and
Mhm,
that
mhm.
is why ultimately he chose to hang it up, was for my career, which I'm very blessed. So he has a fully remote job with Well Companies. It's a trucking company, and he's able to be fully remote with me,
Nice.
which also, it's great, and it's like the dream for us, but it also has its own challenges,
It
so we're
does. It does.
we're figuring out that life. How does he do fully remote when he was used to going into work PT in the morning,
Mm.
being told what to do, and then now he's got freedom with that, but then that comes with all this other stuff. So yeah, and one of
Wow.
his deployments was right after we gave birth to our child. So,
Oh, my.
that was a little tough too, having to, be new parents and then him leaving. And that was also had to do with his decision, I think, to hang it up, was just because it was just so hard to
Yeah,
me to be
well,
a baby, all that.
what he's done for our country, we cannot thank you enough and him enough. I mean, yes, it's them and we salute them and we thank them, but we also need to say thank you to the wives. And
Yeah.
because you put up for so much with so much as well, with them being away and having to take care of the family and all that stuff, and being strong and setting the example for the kids. So, I mean,
You
it's
know, I've met some of the strongest women I've ever known,
mhm, mhm.
definitely
Did
in
you
the
create a
military.
bond? I know we're supposed to be talking about your music here, but did you create a bond with a lot of the other wives or the other girlfriends or boyfriends or what have you?
Oh,
Yeah.
some of my most, I call it bestest friends,
Mhm.
are from, our time in the military. And
Nice.
also, music wise, a lot of my songs are totally about the sacrifices and the hardships, or they're about the military life. So, it plays into all of it. Our life experiences kind of
Yes.
transcend into who we are as songwriters, I think.
Yes. Now, if talking about you a little bit, your hometown is what again? Not
Brookings,
Nashville.
Oregon.
What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Brookings, Oregon. It's a little
Okay.
coastal town. Pretty much if you hit that 101 highway, that famous 101 highway,
Yeah.
and you go straight north so say you're coming from California, you go straight north. It's the first town once you get to Oregon.
Right on the
So
101.
yes, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So the minute I hit that town, what is the first thing I'm going to see?
So when you hit my hometown, the first thing you see, if you're coming north, on the
Yeah.
left would be the ocean. You got some redwood trees. the mountains rolling into the ocean, luscious green. It's beautiful.
Just, I mean, just listening to you, Jesse, it's like, wow, wow. Let's talk about you though, a little bit more on the music. So, how long have you been since you were a little girl? Right, you've always been doing something, a show or music or something along those lines.
Yeah, Skip, I didn't ask you if you had kids yet, but
Oh yeah, I got plenty.
okay, great. You know how it is when you notice a kid has a certain talent or a knack for
Mhm,
something, you try to encourage it and
mhm,
just
mhm.
create the opportunities for them. And, my parents did that a lot when I was little. My dad would take me every Wednesday night to this karaoke bar, which minors could only be in to a certain time. So it was
Right,
like
right.
me and a bunch of old crooners smoking and drinking. And it was just, he literally set the stage for me to go up there, sing my favorite
Mhm.
country songs, my favorite rock and roll songs in front of, an audience. And
Sure.
then that turned into talent shows and fairs. And I had a great teacher in middle school and high school that helped push me. And then it turned into a music scholarship in college.
Nice.
Um, and then all the way to me, meeting a person who was the
Yeah,
catalyst in
and
my
that's
career.
what I wanna talk about as well, because was it a talent show or you were opening for somebody and then it just happened to go in the right direction? Somebody was looking down and kinda hooked that up and made it work for you. Now look at you, and that person was Gretchen Wilson.
Yeah, yeah, it was a battle of the bands, and
Oh,
it's just
wow.
crazy to think that that night really did change my life in a huge way. A lot of people
Mhm.
have a really big impact, and she was one of the biggest impacts in my life to this day. So, yeah.
Love her music, and I can remember when she came out with Redneck Woman. And, I actually went to the show. There was one right up the thruway, up in Rochester, New York, and I said, "I gotta go see this girl." And I remember that like it was yesterday, but she had just come out with Redneck Woman, and that just changed her life. That and Here
Yeah.
for the Party, and I can go on, and the rest is history. But, so how
Oh,
did
yeah.
she help you? How tell us about that whole relationship.
Yeah, so I met her, that night for the Battle of the
Mhm.
Bands in Portland, Oregon, and, I actually snuck backstage. It was we opened for her, and, I snuck backstage, and I was like, "Hey, can I come hang out with you and your family?" And she
Oh,
was like, "Yeah, come on back," reluctantly, I'm sure.
mhm, mhm.
And so we went back there. Me and her ended up staying up till like 4 in the morning. She held her bus call, and you know how that is. Like
Oh,
bus
yeah.
calls usually at midnight. They
Right,
roll out.
right.
So I'm sure her band was like, "Okay, come on, let's go."
"Let's go,
But
Gretchen, let's go." I
but me and her were like, drinking a bottle of Jack, polished it off, taking
Oh, wow.
some dips together. Like, we were just
Yeah,
kindred
yeah,
spirits.
yeah, yeah.
We're country girls. So, and then we were just singing, and I asked her, I was like, "Hey, how do I do this? Like for real? Like win a Grammy, have a number one, like,
Mhm.
and she's like, you got to move to Nashville. Nashville's where it's at. You can't really do that here in Oregon." And next month, I took her advice. I sold a bunch of crab, tuna, and salmon. I sold it at a farmer's market and saved up $3,000,
Wow.
packed up my car, drove 48 hours, because that's how long it takes,
Holy
out to,
cow.
yeah, didn't know anybody in Nashville, Tennessee but her.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
she's a superstar. So I was taking a leap of faith that she would even call me back. And, I think she knew how big of an effort it was that I did it. So she called me
Yes.
back.
Now, she knew you were serious. When you were gonna make that drive of 48 hours, upon her taking her advice to move to Nashville, I'm sure she was like, "This girl is serious. I'm gonna be there for her. She wants to do this, and she's got what it takes." So, she knew that already, I'm sure. So,
Thank you. I hope so. I mean,
yeah.
I think that, we were meant to find each other in some way. I think God puts people in your life for reasons, and
Mhm,
she
mhm.
was definitely a big reason.
I love it, I love it. Do you get out are you still you're on her label, right? Or
So
no?
I'm actually fully independent. She
Independent. Okay.
Yeah, so she gave me a huge start by
Mhm.
kind of bringing me in, putting me on her label, releasing some of my songs at first, letting me tour with her for a few years in my band and stuff, and it was such a great experience. And we got to a point in my career where she's like, I need to like give you more, and you need to fly, and here we go, Birdie. And so,
Mhm.
I'm blessed she gave me full ownership of all the tracks we had worked on that we hadn't
Oh,
released, which
wow.
that that does not normally happen.
No.
Normally, if a label pays for something, they're not going to just give it to you. So
Exactly.
I was very, very blessed to have her blessing. And she also kind of took a step back and worked on her own stuff for a few years and kind of didn't go on the road and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to stop playing. I didn't want to stop recording and putting music out. And I think, she knew that. So she was like, all right. And so since then, it's kind of been her her mentorship and
Mm-hmm.
me being able to make those decisions and go on other tours and headline my own stuff in
I love it.
smaller
I love it.
clubs. Yeah, so it's been great. And then, about 6 months ago, I asked her like, "Hey, Like My Whiskey is like one of my biggest touring songs. I feel like the crowd sings it back immediately. The track is just amazing. Can I like turn up your vocal on this?" And she was like, "Well, why don't I just sing a few lines? We'll call it a duet." And I was like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
"Okay."
You don't have to say that twice. Oh my God. Were you like intimidated though? Were you like scared going, oh my God, I'm really here. I'm really doing this. And I'm doing a duet with her. I mean,
Yeah.
really, I'd be like,
I mean,
you know what? Just
yeah, no, it's totally like
then skip
can't
happens.
think you can, yes, skip happens. I love that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't really think too hard on it. I feel like you really gotta just listen to your heart and not try to think about what are other people gonna think about this?
Right.
What are the comments saying? What are people like? Why don't just be you? You're the only you out there.
Let me ask, how has the response been to this? Hang on. Here we go.
Well, I like my man like I like my whiskey. Shot at him and I'm feeling frisky. Heaven for the night, but hell in the morning when he leaves.
Oh my God. I just want to crank it.
I like my whiskey.
I can hear you and I hear Gretchen equal. It's so good. So good. Hang on a second.
Same time, same pickup lines. Just another day in the life of a woman working hard from 9 to 5.
Wow.
Same drink, same bar, they know by now. A few straight shots and I get down. Doesn't take long for a bad boy to pick me out.
Wow. I mean, that, what's going to happen? Facebook's going to go, all right, well, it's copyright infringement. We're going to have to delete you now. You're gone. But no, I'm just,
I'll just give you permission. I'll just be
I know
like,
that's what I have to do. It usually afterwards I'll go notice saying, we've noticed this, copyright infringement, blah, blah, blah. Would you, whatever. And I usually have to send something and it gets taken care of. But
it's good and it's bad, like it's good if people are infringing, but it's just another hoop to jump through. So
well, I'm glad I'm able to do that because people need to hear you. People need to see you. I can tell you right now, there are people on an American Airlines flight. I don't know if you see the notice, a little chat there on the side. Somebody says, gotta love Wi-Fi on a plane, brand new American Airlines plane. It's cozy. So they must be watching on the jet coming back from Florida. So
that is so cool.
I know. Just think about, we're at 36,000 feet. We don't even know it. So
That is so cool.
I'd be like, here we go. Sad children. Skip happens with me. But let's talk more about you though. So when was the last time you've gotten actually on stage with Gretchen? Has that been recently or has it been a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we sang together last weekend at a birthday party. We sang Like My Whiskey. And the band didn't really know it. So it was like we were like teaching the band and singing along.
Yeah.
There was probably like 200 people there watching us. So I'm sure
I would assume it wasn't for a child.
Oh, no. It was my our best friend's 40th. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, it's still young. At least I got 8 grandkids. You asked me earlier if I have kids. I got 3 grown daughters. They've given me 8 grandkids, and my wife and I now we have a son, 23. He's Down syndrome, and it's Zach, and it's just the best thing we've ever done. And if you ever get bored, not to throw a plug out there, but we do a podcast called Zach Attack with Dad. So it's you never know what you're going to see on it. It's just Zach is like crazy. But anyways, all right.
I'm going to listen to this. No, yeah, I'm going to subscribe.
Yeah, and he loves music. Anything Nashville, he absolutely loves. Were you speaking of Nashville, did you have a chance to make your rounds at the country radio seminar?
I did. I didn't do like the full weekends. I just
Right.
went in 2 days because, man, that is, yeah, it's a lot, So, and we did like a really late night show at the Beat Up Suite
Oh yeah,
for
B-Dub. Yeah, B-Dub and I, Brian and I are really good friends.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I didn't know you were. Oh my gosh.
I'm good friends with him too.
Yeah.
He actually was the reason I met Gretchen. He gave me the opportunity. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah. So
gosh.
yeah.
No idea. I'm gonna call him when we get done tonight. And I'm gonna, hey, Brian, but what a small world.
You should totally give him a call. He is a
Oh, I
huge
will.
catalyst in my career. And, he was like, hey, do you want to perform? We're going to have some labels and some
Mhm,
radio
mhm,
people, and,
mhm.
it'd be good exposure. And then that kind of turned into us providing him sound for the week. And so he's like, well, come every night if you want to. So it's really fun.
So the sound was your sound. I saw somebody was there, I mean, it wasn't a huge setup, of course. I mean, you're
Yeah.
in a suite in a hotel, but still,
Yeah.
you must have been there the one night I didn't hit the suite.
Oh, I must have been. Yeah. I think it was like a
It was
Thursday.
George and Matt, George Burge, Matt Stell,
I was there.
what's her? Oh my God, was it Hannah Ellis? No,
No, it was a blonde girl.
oh my God,
I forgot.
oh my God, Skip just happened because I
Okay.
have no idea.
Skip happens.
Yeah, we actually, I mean, oh God, I should know her name. We had her come we're in Syracuse. I had her come to the Q's to do a show for the radio station.
Aw.
And I can't
She
think
was
of her.
great.
She,
She was super
they're all great.
Yeah.
Great. Drew Baldridge is great. He's an inspiration
I
to
didn't
so many artists.
He is awesome. And he's doing his own thing and
All on his own dime.
yeah.
Yep.
And
God bless
it's
him.
so hard. So I need to get his ear and be like, hey, give me some tips.
I know. But I got to tell you, I mean, all that being said, that's one thing. But I can tell you what you're doing now. And I always say this, grassroots with Nancy and RJ, everybody that's there, John, they are the best. And they're the best for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're very business oriented. Number two, they're musicians or radio people. So they know.
Yeah.
And that is a plus for an artist like yourself.
They work so hard. So my husband's new at this stuff. And so we've been through a couple of trial and error with certain companies that we bring on board, like whether that be marketing or something.
Sure.
They're one that, and he's a workhorse, obviously,
Mhm.
being military background, getting up to special forces, but he is so impressed with them every day. He's like, wow, they work hard for us. And, I'll do this again and again and again.
100% they do. And I'm not just saying that because I know them. I just know the type of company they are. And if I was in your shoes, I'd be knocking on their door to help me out too. So,
oh yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. I hope they're listening. Shout out grassroots.
Nancy Tunic, where are you? No, absolutely. See, I told you this would be a little crazy. This is
No, I love it.
And so wait a minute, you played sports, right? Did I read in your bio that you were a softball player and what else?
Yep. So I played softball, soccer, and basketball my whole life. And then when college time came, freshman year, I played softball. Sophomore year, I played soccer. And then it got to the point where music was getting demanding and I had a scholarship. And also the future of my life, I was like, sports can only carry me so long. So I unfortunately had to hang it up. But yeah, I played sports my whole life. I credit a lot of my my athleticism on stage and my competitive nature with just wanting to be successful at sports.
And I firmly believe that. I have a daughter that went to play lacrosse, All-American scholarship, Bonaventure. And
Amazing.
You know what? People went after her to work for them, and because she was so outgoing and confident and just, and I think that's what that's why it's good for you. It gives you that, I mean, what do I know? I haven't played a sport. No, I played hockey for a little bit, but that was years ago. But still, it's like Nicole was offered a job right out of school because they loved her confidence and she was, just all for it.
I
100%.
feel like, I mean, I don't judge anyone's parenting at all. Like every time I even think about, oh, I'm like, okay, stop it,
Mhm.
because everybody's life is different. But I do feel like one of the best things you can do for your kids is put them in sports, and
100%.
because it's a way to like let them fail, succeed, get back up, be
That's
a
okay
team
to
player.
fail. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Except you don't want to be the parent that knows everything. You got to let the kid do it on his own. Really, how
yeah,
often do you see
yeah,
the parents there yelling at the coaches or yelling at the kids doing what they, and I see my grandkids play hockey. So it's
yeah.
just mom and dad, you need to let the coach take care of it. Everything's going to be fine. The kid fails, the kid fails. You know what? But
Yeah.
he's going to get back up and do better the next time.
Exactly. And it's good too to have your kids sit the bench. That teaches them a life lesson. Like it all teaches them life lessons.
Yeah, I guess. I know. So what's your you've been doing a lot of writing too as well, correct? I mean,
I have.
talk about
Yeah.
your style, your creativity. Where does it come from? Tell us about that a little bit.
Skip, it's different all the time. Like I am a crazy writer when it comes to like sometimes I like that method style. Sometimes the muse just comes in the middle of the night and I have no control over it. And
Mhm.
like lately it's been that, which is crazy. Like the other day I was washing the dishes and a song hit me and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like obviously I'm not gonna say the idea because it's fresh and I don't want anyone to steal it. So yeah. But yeah, like the other night I woke up at 1 a.m. and this song fully was like almost finished playing in my head, the melody and everything. And you know how it goes. You just got to get up and write it or else
I
it
was
will
gonna
be
say,
gone.
did you grab your phone and kind of, do
I
the voice
usually do
memo?
that. I
Yeah.
usually do that, but my daughter was laying right beside me that night. So I was
Ooh, I
like,
want to wake her. Yeah.
yeah, can't do that. So I ran out of the room, went into our writing room, got the guitar and piano out, and like kind of fingered through it. And then my guitar player, who is much better at everything than me, because I'm just not a
Don't
player.
say that. You never know. It's always good
I
though to have
mean,
that help. Yeah.
it's one of those things I'm blessed to focus on vocals because I feel like it makes me a different type of vocalist. Not having
Mhm.
to like always, but nothing against anyone who does. I just feel like my brain works better like that.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, finish a song in like 30 minutes.
It
Yeah.
must be. Do you have neighbors? Like, is there somebody
Not,
close by? So they're gonna
not
see,
close enough.
all right, they're gonna see the light go on at 3 o'clock, and they're gonna go, here comes another song. That girl I
Well,
live next door, she must have another thought.
they clearly know I like whiskey, so I mean, they're
Ah,
probably
all right. What's your favorite whiskey?
okay, not just to pump the brand because they were
No, 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 no. This is just you can say whatever.
cool.
I don't care.
Well, okay, so we had Ammunition Whiskey as like our video sponsor whiskey
Yeah, yeah.
for the music video, and it is amazing. I'm not just saying that to say it. It is smooth. Like I would sip it just on ice, and I'm not normally that kind of. It has to be really good for me to,
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be drinking something at the bar, and they clearly won't have Ammunition because that's such a, they're just new and they're smaller in
Right, right,
California.
right.
But Redneck Riviera, John
Oh yeah.
Rich, got to
Yeah,
support
yeah.
him. So, and I love his
Absolutely.
Granny Rich whiskey.
Now I haven't been there yet. I'm sure you have. But being with Gretchen, and then of course you got
Big and Rich.
Big
Yeah.
and Rich, and so have you been able to do anything with them?
Yeah. Over the years,
They're
they have
crazy.
always,
I know. I've seen it.
they're so much fun and they're just great guys.
Mhm.
We've definitely done a lot with them or them around over the years. Like, and on a personal note too, like Big Kenny, christened my child last year.
Oh.
Yeah. It was just like I felt like how you feel like you're at rock and roll church or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he kind of with Big Kenny, you kind of are.
It was like Gretchen Wilson holding her up, and Big Kenny's like praying.
Hallelujah. I mean, I can hear Kenny doing that. You know what I mean? He's always
It was.
like that, so.
I'll send you a picture. It was
Oh
awesome.
my God, that's great.
Yeah, and John does a lot of military things. So
Yes.
I got to share the stage with him at my last ever military ball as a active duty couple because
Mhm.
my husband's now a veteran. I'm sure we'll go to many balls later in life. But
You should.
our last, and our last ball, they asked me to sing. They asked me to close out the show, which was amazing. They actually were running super late, so I was supposed to open the show, but it ended up being that John was in a rush, Gavin DeGraw was in a rush, and
Right.
some other artists. They had to be other places, so they're like, "Well, Jessie, would you mind closing the show?" I'm like, "You mean John Rich just opened for me? Heck yeah!"
I love it. I love it.
Probably not gonna say that again. So
What did you was it just one song or did they want you to do a few songs to close it?
yeah, I did like I think a 25-minute
Oh,
set.
really?
So
25
yeah,
minutes. Wow. Cool.
yeah. So I did like I think 5 or 6 songs, and it was a lot of fun. But it's just very special, just being my last ball, all dolled up in a elegant dress and stuff. And
I'm sure it was beautiful. You know,
yeah,
with the uniforms and then with the wives and the elegant dresses. I mean, I've seen pictures of the balls and it's just, wow.
it's gorgeous. It's
Yeah,
definitely you feel very fortunate to be in the room.
absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
It just sometimes I just don't know what to say because I'm just like, it means so much.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I get more nervous and more tongue-tied in front of that kind of community than
I was
anything
going
else.
to
Like,
ask.
yeah. So I played a show 2 days ago, and I lost my voice because I got pretty sick.
Mm,
Actually, I asked Shannon to reach out to you and let you know that I'm still not fully 100% with singing. So I was like, if Skip wants me to sing, like I just
no.
don't have my range right now. But I played a show for Leatherwood Distillery, which is a
Mm,
veteran-owned
mm.
distillery, and I played on stage with 3 veterans, and they're amazing artists. And I was so embarrassed to be like, guys, I can't even sing. Like I have no voice. I squeaked out 2 songs and they're proud of me. But like the amount of pressure I have on myself to play in front of
Yeah.
my loved
Yeah.
ones, like in the military, is so much more pressure than even,
You
like
know,
80,000
and I
people.
get it. I get it. I'd be scared to death and afraid I wouldn't be able to come through. But then on the other hand, I kind of wonder how many of those people really noticed because you're great. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, wow, I didn't know she was sick. She sounded fabulous, you know?
Thank you. I mean, people were saying that, thank goodness, when I was taking a break, but like you feel that on yourself that
Mhm.
I don't know how you are, but I want to give my 100% every
Oh, yeah.
show.
Oh, no, I think we all do, whether, it's what I do or what you do. You want to go
Yeah,
out there and give it everything you got. So,
totally. You feel like they showed up to be there. You better give them a good show.
you know,
So
I MC a lot of events and stuff like that. And when I get really nervous or I'm afraid to go, not afraid, but I mean, you get that feeling. I don't know if it's stage fright or what. It doesn't matter how
yeah.
many years you've been doing this. I've been doing this a long time. But if I look out in the audience and I go, oh my God, I know most of these people, then it's like, oh shit, if I screw up, skip is really going to happen. And it's just, this is not going to be good because I'll never hear
And
the end of
everyone's gonna remember it forever because they know me.
it. Exactly. It'd be like, hey, Jess, remember, oh, I know what I want to ask you, by the way. So before we went on tonight, I did a little bit of homework. I had papers here, but I never look at them. I saw one video. You were doing armpit farts. Was that in a radio station?
Yeah,
Was
they
it
put
on
me
a
on the
radio
spot.
tour?
Well, for one, they knew that I would do some stuff like that. So they were
I
like,
love it.
let's put her on the spot. And then for 2, I was
Oh.
like, well, I can't not do it now that they just asked me. So uh clearly I suck at it if you watch the video.
Well, I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, I just started laughing. And that kind of leads me to ask, I mean, what other crazy things have you, like you go out on the radio tour and you meet all these radio guys and there's a lot of good ones and there's a lot of others. And it's just, I mean, what kind of crazy things have you had to do?
Oh,
Have
I
they,
mean, nothing's really crazier than shoving rotting bait in a bait jar and putting it in a crab pot. So for
okay,
me,
all right. No, I know. You're right.
but
I didn't even think about that. I'd be hurling.
yeah,
I'm just,
but I'm trying to think like on the road. I feel like
has anybody ever pranked you?
I mean, kind of, but it's always like starts out self-inflicted. Like Jesse just went ham and partied a little hard, and then
Yeah, yeah.
people like put a puke bucket on stage and write my name on it, kind of thing. That kind of stuff. Uh, but I'm trying to think of anything
But I
really
think
that.
it would be really hard. I mean, not to, to put the puke bucket up on stage and all that, but still, here's somebody that's worked on a boat in the ocean. I mean, I'd be hurling over the side. I mean, I can't do that, but you obviously can handle all that pretty good.
I
Correct?
mean, sometimes you need to take Bonine the night before, the morning of, get a wristband for pressure points, get some ginger ale and saltines just to make sure that you're going to be good your whole fishing trip. Like if you take a charter trip, spend the money or whatever. But for the most part, I don't get seasick. And if I do, like occasionally because something random, then we have bunks in the bottom of the boat. And man, I sleep like a baby when it's
Oh,
rocking you. Like
oh, I bet. I bet.
it's great. I could sleep like all day.
I know I've
It's
been on
nice.
cruises before. Obviously, it's a little different, but
Yeah.
and you feel the ship rocking a little bit or whatever. And I sleep like a baby. But
Oh,
on a smaller boat like that, I don't
yeah.
know. I just don't know. And then the smell of the fish.
Oh, that's the worst part because like the fish is in ice blocks and it slowly melts. And
You ever get out and do it again? Have you gone back to visit family and gone out on the boat at all?
yeah, usually when I go out though, it's like, I'll drive and stuff when my dad's resting or like
Okay.
it's been a long time since I've been out because we've been in Nashville and the
Mhm.
chances that we get back during season, the weather's nice and I'm not working are all so slim. But I'm thinking about trying to do some sort of like TV film thing, like a YouTube vlog or
That would be
something.
cool.
Yeah, where I take
You
like somebody out there and film it,
Yeah, and do it as you as Jessie G. You're an
Yeah,
artist and all that, but yet, you've got all this background. I mean, we all do. I've done other
yeah,
things,
yeah,
and to do a vlog on it or just kind of do like videos like that. I think that would be
yeah.
cool. And
Yeah, show up in the cowboy boots and take them off and put the
yeah,
Grundens on, and yeah, I think that'd be sick.
yeah. I see you keep looking over to the side. Is your husband over there?
Oh, no, my
No.
dogs.
Oh, what kind of
You
dogs do you have?
can
Tell
hear
me
them
about
like their nails
that.
on the hardwood. You can't hear
Oh,
them?
yeah, I've got it. Well, we've always had yellow labs, and we
Oh, we
just
have 2 labs. Yeah,
yep, we
mhm.
just adopted another yellow lab from a gentleman. He's not able to take care of him now, and the yellow lab is 4.5 years old, and he was a companion to this guy, but he's kind of up there and just can't do it, and it's got a lot of training to be done because the slippers, the shoes, the towels, it's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's crazy.
Well, labs like to chew things. Labs
Yeah.
like the trash. My labs love
Yes.
they love well, if your lab's super food motivated, it can be good because treats will train them, but it also can be really
All
rough
right.
because then you're like
How heavy or what is the weight of your labs?
they're both actually really little, and I don't know if that's because we always made them share
Okay.
a kennel since they're
Well,
puppies, but
we
they're
t-
both 60 pounds.
we took the lab to the vets today, and
Okay.
just for the first checkup, whatever, 119 pounds.
That's literally both of my dogs combined.
Well, it's funny that you said that because we love the vet that we go to. We've always gone to this one particular person. She is great. She's great with the dog. She knows her stuff. She walked in. She goes, "I see one dog, but there's two here." So, because she said, a lab, not to get off the subject of music, but a lab
Yeah,
is like 80 pounds. That's usually a pretty,
119 is like that's like a
it's 40
mastiff.
pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he a he, right?
It's a he. He's
Yeah,
he's been neutered, all that stuff.
yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh,
All that's taken care of.
yeah.
He was very well taken care of. It's just
Yeah.
that he needed some love, and now we got him here, and he's kind of taken over the house. He's so
Oh,
big, he jumped up on the bed, and we have a queen bed, and one of us couldn't sleep in the bed. and he wouldn't move. And you try to move a dog that weighs 119 pounds, he's not freaking moving. So I'm just saying. Hey, I
That's
told
so
you this podcast was going to go in different directions, but
That's real though. I mean, I think
yeah,
people are craving that whole like real
yeah, no, this is what we do.
conversation.
That's why I
I
call
love
it Skip
it.
Happens too. So
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, Skip. This has
yeah,
been
no, I enjoy this 100%, and I just love talking to the new artists. One thing with me, even though we are a media-based station here in Syracuse, but I believe in the artists like yourself, the independent artists. The artists don't have, it's harder for them to get heard. It's harder for them to be seen. So that's one thing I do with my podcast is every opportunity that I get, and that's why I have such a great relationship with Grassroots. I said, send the artists my way. They need to be seen. They need to be heard. And it's, to me, that's what it's all about.
It is. And I think you're right with like the drive, the passion, the struggle, and that beauty in it, in the art, which makes great art, I think are in the artists that are trying to make it still. So I appreciate you for supporting us and giving us a platform.
Of course. I got more questions. I had to find.
Keep going then.
I don't know. What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever done for a dare?
A dare. Oh.
Or maybe you don't want to talk about it.
Probably eating like a really hot pepper.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
for me, that's like a big deal because I can't do hot stuff at all. But most of the time, you don't need to dare me to do something stupid. I'll just do it.
You look like a fun person. I can tell already. Your personality is fun. Your husband's probably got his hands full. I get it. It's like
I've gone streaking not on a dare. So I mean, if that's
been there, done that. We won't talk about it. So if you could eat only one type of food for the rest of your life, what do you think that would be?
one type of food forever.
Don't say fish.
Probably no. I'm a red meat girl.
Oh my God, beef. Yes.
I really love my steak.
How's your cholesterol?
I think great. I don't know.
Probably no. Because I love red meat, and the doctor's like, we need to work on this a little bit and get your cholesterol down, and you're gonna have to stop eating red meat. So
I heard there's more opinions on that lately. Like
there could be. Yeah, could be. So, I don't know. Let's see what else do we have here. I have some really stupid questions. I don't even know why I'm doing this. What? I don't know why. If animals could talk.
Okay.
This is really stupid. Which one do you think would be the rudest? Which animal would be the rudest?
The cat, for sure.
Really? You don't have cats, do you?
I mean, I had them my whole life, but they just do
I'm not
what
a fan of cats. They're boring.
Yeah, I mean, some cats are cool, but some cats are like, I don't know. I just feel like they do what they want.
If you could invent a holiday, what do you think you would call it? I know. So stupid questions. Anyways.
Fisherman's Frolic
Day. Fisherman's Frolic Day. Yeah, I guess Skip happened there. So I don't know. I love it. So, all right, back to music. So if somebody wanted to, they're watching this or they watch it down the road and they go, wow, she's cool. I want to listen to her music. Where can they go?
I mean, jessiegmusic.com is my website. You can kind of find everything there, but Jessie G Official is my tag on Instagram, Facebook, X is Jessie G _music, and then TikTok is at Jessie G Official again. Just if you look up Jessie G, I'm the chick with brown hair. I'm not the dude. So
there was also a Jessie J.
Yeah, Jessie J. Then there's Jessie James in country, and then there's
That's right.
there's a couple, but I feel like, and I actually went by my full name, and then Gretchen convinced me to drop the because my name was so hard to pronounce that she's like, you should just.
So that's only the first letter of your last name, then.
Yeah. My last name's Gergen, and that's just
Jessie Gergen music. Yeah, I don't know. Jessie G sounds
Jordan. Yeah.
I love it. Well, there again, she gave you some great advice. So
yeah, it's really has.
You guys, I mean, other than playing together, you get together and hang. Do you guys maybe let's go do some shots or sit around a campfire? you know.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't do shots anymore. So, I mean, occasionally the wild me will convince her to do one, but that's very, very rare. She's a wine drinker. And I love wine too, red wine.
She
So
used to always do whiskey though.
she did, and those
Back in
days
the
are
day. Yeah, yeah. She
no,
got,
I mean, like it's good probably that they're over. I feel like,
I
she's
guess.
a
Okay.
wine girl
That's
now.
all good. That's all good. And they're so Grassroots is pushing the new song to radio for you. Is that what they're?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we're sitting at like number 61. It keeps
Yeah.
climbing every week.
You know, the
And
way I look at it, once you hit 80, if you're above, 80 and you heading towards that number one spot, that's good. That's good.
awesome. Well, I don't know. Like it's been a while. Like it's been like a few years since I've done a radio tour. So
Yeah.
we're kind of back in the game, and I'm
Mhm.
really excited because I feel like this is moving faster than the last one did, and we got in the 20s in the last one. So I'm hoping number one.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. Now, when you head out on the road, what is it, a 40 kind of line van with a big trailer behind it and you take turns driving, or are you on a bus?
So we have a fully converted Sprinter van. My dad, my
Nice.
uncle, and my husband,
Yeah.
and I built the floor plan, and then they built it out, which I'm grateful. And I'm like trying to convince my husband to get an RV because I'm just like, I want a little more room than the Sprinter van can provide. But the Sprinter van has been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So blessed that we
Yeah.
have that. And then sometimes we pull a trailer, but most of the time we try to get sound provided and backline a little
Mhm.
bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the way to do it. Then you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about all that. That's kind of cool. We've
So
been
nice.
talking with Jessie G tonight, a lot of different angles. You find out, look at the smile and the personality and all that, and just a fabulous artist. Check out the music. Where can they go again? Say it again, because I'll never.
JessieGmusic.com for a
Yeah.
one-stop shop, and at
Yeah.
Jessie G Official on social media.
That's cool. You're the best. I
Oh,
really
thanks.
enjoyed chatting with you. You're so cool. But
Oh, thank you.
thank
I
you for
think you're
coming
cool.
on. No, I don't know about that. I'm old. I'm old.
No, that felt like just super, it feels super organic and,
Well, that's the way I like it. So that's
I
cool.
love
Right back at you. Pretty good. You do a great interview and a lot of fun to chat. So we
that.
appreciate you coming on Skip Happens tonight. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you look up her music, Jessie G. Listen to it. I think you're going to love it. If you're a fan of Gretchen Wilson back in the day, she's still there. She's right there with Jessie. So listen to the music. If you liked it then, you're going to love it now. So it's pretty cool. Jessie, thanks for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight.
Thanks, Skip.
Yeah.